Yo, YouTube, what's going on? It's your boy, SalvationsElite. We are back with another video, guys. This has been a weird 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a weird, like, month, honestly, for the channel, for me, and for content and how it's all going down. So I was gone for COD Champs, came back. I was gone for, like, a while because I stayed for a few extra days. And then there's been so much going on these past, like, week and a half. We had the alpha, the betas, like, in a week or whatever. And we have so much going on. Rostermania's currently in progress, but there's not much news because... I mean, hey, thanks to Censor, we exposed the COD burner, and, you know, the dude was slimy, whatever, you know, obviously not a good guy, but I did appreciate the rumors the COD burner was spreading, and the fairly accurate information that he was giving most of the time, and so we just don't have much to go off of right now. Like, we basically don't have any news, or any rumors, or anything at all. The players are, like, lips tight. Lips are sealed with the players, with the ownership, with the groups, with the teams, with the orgs. So with all that in mind, that's why we're doing the bold predictions of Rostermania. I'm really taking a risk here by labeling it bold predictions, you know? I mean, that really puts a lot of pressure on me. No, I just thought I would have some fun with this and just give out some predictions that might not be the most realistic, but something I think is kind of at least possible, and go through some of the most likely options. I mean, we do have a little bit of actual news from Envy, from Hastro, who said that, you know, their team, COD Dallas, is going to have a roster full of no-tilt players. Based off how he talked and described what he thought as tilt, it seemed more like guys who lose composure and aren't able to rebound, like when something goes wrong, you know? Like, Temp is the ideal example for a guy who is full tilt. When something goes wrong or when it's not going his way, he can just lose it, and he's just not able to rebound mentally after that, and it throws off his game, which is a real problem for players. I think I'm a tilter in a lot of different instances. I think a lot of my buddies would say I'm a tilter sometimes, especially more in my past when it came to, like, golf. Golf was always a struggle for me. But the guys like Temp, Gunless, Slasher, Priestahh, I would even say like Karma, Krim, maybe even Clay come to mind as guys who are tilters. But at the same time, like Karma, Krim, Clay, like those guys have won a lot of championships. They've been really good in their past. It's like, sure, they're emotional and they get emotionally charged sometimes, but does it really affect their play? I don't know. So it depends how you define tilt. You can basically say for sure that, like, guys like Temp, Gunless, Slasher, and Priestahh aren't going to be on Envy. But besides that, it's like anyone gets emotional sometimes for the most part, unless they're going for like players who just solely just don't get tilted. And, like, I mean, in that mind, you think of like guys like Huke, Simp, AbeZy. I would say like Attach, Octane. Honestly, I mean, I know Scump's known for his like hypeness, but he doesn't get like down and negative and tilted when things aren't going his way. He more just gets hyped. So I would say I would throw Scump on that list as well, of guys who, you know, would fit in with that Envy vibe that apparently they're going for. So with that said, I think we can get into some of the bold predictions. Because we're talking about Envy right now, this might be the boldest prediction because it's a full-on roster of 5 prediction for Rostermania. This is, again, based off of very little actual fact, only off of the idea that Scump lives in Dallas. It would make sense for him to be on Envy. He has a relationship with Hastro. Besides that, it's full-on just predictions, and just based off my own opinion, that's all this really is. All right, so I want to make sure no one's taking this as like legit news, because it's definitely not. My prediction, the first full-on bold prediction, Dallas Envy's roster is going to be Scump, Dashy, Huke, Attach, and Formal. A full-on all-star team is going to be down in Dallas. I mean, I know you guys who are Optic fans are just flipping out that I just said Scump and Formal in the same sentence. We've seen all that hype recently on Twitter where Scump said in his like perfect roster he would have Formal on the team. Formal multiple times has said he'd be open to teaming with some of the Optic guys again. I think Envy's going to go all in on this. They know that they're one of the returning brands. They know that they have an advantage in the branding space. So why not go all in? Become the fan favorite team. Get Scump, Dashy, Huke, Attach, and Formal. Like some of literally the biggest followings in the COD scene. They will be loved, and that team would be nasty. I mean, even in a slower game, I think that team would be insane and so fun to watch. And so I would be excited about that team a lot. And that's my prediction. That's the first big time bold prediction. And this one's not nearly as bold as the last one. This is pretty chill. This one is that Clay and Simp will be a duo and play on the same team next year. I think they have a really good relationship. Clay kind of feels like the older brother to Simp, and I think Clay really wants to play with Simp. I mean, who really wouldn't at this point, considering how freaking good he was at Black Ops 4? But I think Clay's going to use his leverage, his prestige, his following, his, you know, the respect he has in the community to get Simp to follow him to whatever team he goes to and convince the team that Clay wants to go to buy all in on Simp, because I'm sure Simp's going to be getting a bag wherever he goes. So this one's really not that obscene or that far out either. This one is that JCap and Accuracy will also be a duo together. I think they have like that vibe. It just feels like they have that vibe. So my prediction is that they end up on the same team together. I don't know what that team would be, and I'll be really interested to see if that actually ends up being a thing, where who the three other players are, because I wasn't bold enough to go that far with things with a prediction for the full roster for those guys. I'm gonna say those guys are a duo as our next bold prediction. So the next prediction is maybe more bold than most, and this one's gonna be really interesting. My prediction is that at least three of the four, maybe all four, but at least 3 of the 4 Rise members from the end of last season, Gunless, Looney, TJ, and Slasher, reunite on the same team in Modern Warfare, because it's moving back to a slower paced, more traditional Call of Duty like World War II was, where they were all really good. And so that's why it wouldn't surprise me if that's the case, but it's a pretty bold prediction nonetheless. So the next bold prediction is this one. This one really has like I don't really know why I'm saying this, because there's really not any logic behind this besides that they're both on phase. And that's that Priestahh and Skrapz will end up on the same team together in Modern Warfare. Like I said, I have absolutely no basis for this besides the fact that they're on phase right now, but it'd be really fun. I think that'd be a really, really cool duo, and I'd be hyped about that. So why not? Bold prediction. So the last 2 bold predictions are both trios, all right? The first one is 100 Thieves. Octane, Kenny, and Enable will be a trio headed into Modern Warfare and will all play on the same team. I think they have a really good chemistry together. Obviously, Kenny and Enable played on TK. Octane, an absolute beast in AR. I think they all like each other. I think they play well together. They vibe together well, and they're going to be nasty all together in this game as well. But yeah, the only basis I really have for that is that they have good vibes. So I don't really have any other reason besides that. But let's say it, bold prediction, 100T, run it up on a new team this time. The last bold prediction is Gen G related, and it's that Mox, Envoy, and Havoc will be a trio headed into Modern Warfare, and they'll play on the same team as well. So it seems like they'd be insanely good together on Modern Warfare. I think they'd make an awesome trio, and why not, man? They were so close in Black Ops 4 so many times, and them as a trio can be really successful still. So there it is, some bold predictions for Modern Warfare's Rostermania, well, first Rostermania. I'm pumped to see when news finally starts dropping. It can drop at basically any time at this point. Organizations are still just trying to talk it out with players and general managers, and it's just crazy how little information we've heard about so many teams. Like, the only really interesting any type of updates or news that we've gotten are from COD Minnesota and from Envy, from Hastro. So it's just really weird that we haven't seen more transparency or news or leaks or anything else yet. But as soon as there is, we'll make a video about it and we'll keep you guys updated. With that said, tips videos will be coming back to the channel eventually. I think during the beta, I'm sure I'll be making some tips videos. And again, community tournament will be happening at some point before Modern Warfare releases. I think it's going to be between the beta and between Modern Warfare's actual release. So I think it's now going to be the end of September or the first week of October is looking like when that's going to happen. It's going to happen, guys. I swear it's going to happen. So with that said, guys, I appreciate you guys sticking out for the video. If you guys enjoyed the video, like, comment, and subscribe. Share it if you guys really enjoy it. But as always, guys, I'm your boy SalvationsElite, and we will see you next time. I'm out.